Hey Riles, how you going, mate?
Fantastic, thank you.
That's the way.
Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Back again here, eh?
Oh well, it's every Monday, Phil.
It's my favourite day of the week.
Yeah, beauty.
Get to talk 8-ball with you, snooker, 9-ball, whatever's going on.
Well, there's lots going on, Phil.
Well, not in my circle. Snooker was a bit quiet this week, and we've got nothing happening over in England, so we were a touch quiet this week, tournament-wise.
Yeah.
But we did have an event a few weeks ago that I need to talk to you about.
Yeah, the carnival, was it?
Yeah, it was the country carnival.
Mm-hmm.
We had so much going on the last 2 weeks. I think we might have mentioned it, but I think we should. It's an important thing in our 8-ball association and
absolutely
what goes on.
Yeah.
So, and I was shocked, Iceman. It's like the 48th event they've had it since 1978. They've been running it.
Wow. Yeah.
So sorry, I think it's 43rd. 43rd. Yeah, better get it right. But what I did see was the Riverland defeated Eyre Peninsula 2 in the final.
Yeah.
But Riverland, that was their 7th final.
Yeah.
And they finally won it. Iceman.
Yeah.
So good effort.
Absolutely.
But I did notice it's a pretty solid team.
Well, they've always, like you said, they made 7 finals. They've always been around the mark.
Yeah.
So it's a great effort.
So
who was in that team, Phil?
I'll let you know. I won't miss anyone out, but I tell it was they were captained by the great Peter Kennedy.
Yeah.
And they had Sean Salmon in there, who's been doing very well.
Yeah.
Mick Radak.
Yeah.
Aaron Trethaway. And Glenn Carter.
Right.
And I also think an acting manager who wasn't there was the great Con.
Con Burritos.
Yes.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Con Q's.
So they had a bit of Con helping them as well.
Yeah.
And Eyre Peninsula had Ian Long, Dylan von der Waal, Andrew Reynolds, Mick Freeman, Nathan Taylor, and Ben Adams in their side.
Yeah.
And so they were first and second. Eyre Peninsula came third, equal with Whyalla. So
and Eyre Peninsula had a good side too, didn't they? Number 1.
Just having Brenton and Anthony Grantham in there, that's a pretty solid team. So I was wondering if the Brenton factor and Anthony in that part of the world has them teams running 1 and 2 if they're helping people and showing the game to that part of the world. But still, fantastic efforts. So,
definitely.
But what I did notice, Iceman, was the guy that was player of the carnival, Gavin Lomax.
Yeah.
An amazing player. I feel we really don't get to see the best of Gavin.
No.
He only plays at the Salisbury League, but he's won a state billy here, professional snooker player, phenomenal 8-ball player as well. It'd be nice to see a bit more of Gavin around town.
Well, every time I see Gavin, he's got a pint in his hand, not a cue.
Well, Empire has both. But Iceman, the players that were runner-up, like Shane Cripps, Michael Hayes, Brian Perriton, Sean Salmon, Darren Shaw, Adam Andreski. There's a lot of obviously very good players in that event.
I spoke to Brian about him being runner-up, and out of the names you just mentioned, he's the standout that obviously achieved a really good goal there.
Especially with them players around him.
That's right. So that's great effort, Brian.
Yeah,
well done. Obviously, you can see some improvement in the game, and keep on going, keep hitting.
And well done to Riverland and PK and the team on finally winning a country carnival.
Yeah, congratulations. Fantastic effort.
Well done.
Yep.
And on the weekend, some newer notes. You had John Barton's classic tournament on the weekend.
Yes, we did. That started on Friday. We had our singles event started on Friday. We got down to the semi-finals on the Friday.
How many teams?
We had 7 teams.
So COVID cost you some spots, didn't it?
Mate, a couple of players couldn't make it from Victoria.
You didn't have NT or WA here this year?
No, they haven't really played in the last couple. Not sure what's going on there. We'd like to see them here. There's a couple of players that we've, like Sonny Lister and them sort of guys that we've known for 20 years, and that's the idea of the tournament, to bring the old boys back. And it's great to have a game of pool, but to catch up and see each other is what it's all about at the end of the day. So maybe, as JB sort of put a post up today saying, come on guys, where are you? Come and play in the event. So hopefully they can it's 12 months away, guys, so you've got enough time, got enough notice to put a side together.
Well, Alex, as you know, I called in yesterday, and I was quite envious that I wasn't part of it and playing, and it was good to see players from Tasmania and even the players from South Australia I haven't seen for a while. Everyone wanted to have a chat, and it was a fantastic event, and it would be brilliant if you could get some more players. I mean, we still had a good turnout, but if you could just get a few more. But COVID's tough at the moment, Iceman.
It is, as we can see, Sydney are in lockdown, and everyone's basically locking the borders and can't come in, and so hopefully the Tasmanians get home alright today. They should be okay to get home. So let's go with some results now.
Some results, Iceman.
Alright, so
let's go to their singles.
Yeah, singles, which
I
started on
had you
Friday.
hot favourite too, Iceman.
You can't win them all, Phil.
I know it's your own room. You were like looking after. I think you must have been a good host.
Yeah, I just, you know, I can feel I'm tired. It's been a long weekend, and I don't need to make excuses. I didn't win, and that's the way it is.
Well, there was a superstar that won it anyway.
Well, that's true. So let's go with what happened. The semi-finalist, Mick Delahunty was up against Shane Cripps. Again, Crippsy there again. You know.
He's at the finish line in every event we've spoken about. He's been around.
Mick Della took him out. And then Kelvin Lee up against Michael Swift. Kelvin played very well to beat Swifty, and Swifty beat Greg Laurie, you know, Tasmanian state player, and that. And
Stacey.
And Stacey Vine.
Fantastic effort to make the semis for Michael Swift.
Absolutely, And so them two semi-finals were completed on Sunday. And the final was taken out by Mick Delahunty over Kelvin Lee. So that was
close.
Yeah, it was always going to be close. It was 3-2. Time permitted. It was a shortened race, but they were happy with that. Mick was very happy with that. Obviously, winning the event. So
was that back to back?
He's won 3 out of 4. I reckon it is back to back, but he's won 3 out of the 4 singles events.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Yep, not too bad for an old bloke.
Della, you've still got it, mate. Well done there, Mick.
So go to the teams. The semi-finalists were JB's team.
Who was in JB's team?
JB's team had John Lehman, James Brown, and Kelvin Lee.
Very good team.
They come up against my team, Ace High, in the semi, which was Robert Reilly, who we haven't seen for a long time, Phil Jones, and Michael Phillips.
Also a good team,
They defeated us 9-7. It was 8-7. We lost the last frame. We were hoping for one of them black ball shootouts, Phil, but didn't happen. Didn't see one all weekend, which is a bit of a shame. And a light fine wine beat the Tassie Hogs in the other semi-final. The Tassie Hogs were Greg Laurie, Bolt, Nigel, and Jason. I'm sorry, I forgot. I've just tired. I've got no last names for you.
The Tassies, mate.
They know the Hogs know who they are. And the fine wine was Shane Cripps again, with Michael Swift, Jack Hunter, and Mark Stone. And a special mention to Mark Stone. He only lost 1 frame throughout the minor round.
Wow.
So he's played 24 frames, lost 1.
That's phenomenal.
So he was the player of the event, player of the tournament.
Well done, Mark.
And this guy, you know, a few years ago I tried to talk him into playing in the state playoffs. You know, and you know, work commitments and things like that, he couldn't do it. But I've always respected Mark's game, and you know, he's a great player. Very hard to beat.
He's always been one of them players under the radar. Make the quarters plus at Berry, very hard to beat. Not good players there. He's a very good player.
Absolutely. And so the final, Light Fine Wine finished on top. Were undefeated, but JB's team in the final got them. So there you go. So congratulations.
So JB's putting events on and winning his own events.
Well, that's what you got to do sometimes to win a comp, Phil. So congratulations. I think everyone had a great time. I think Tasmanians had too much of a good time. So, but that's all good. It's good fun, and it was great to see them boys over here. hope they get home safe, like I said, and everything went quite smooth. Finished about 8 o'clock on Sunday night, so it was a good night.
Well, what was a highlight for me, Alec, when I called in the room was the Tassies came up to me and said, "Hi Phil, haven't seen you ages, but we watch you every week on a Monday." So I thought that was quite crazy. Jack Hunter mentioned he watches the review. Anna Lynch always gives us a thumbs up when she's doing when we've done a show. She's over there with Rob Hall, the world number 3 billy player in England now. She's moved over there. Jazzy Jeff sends me messages from Kuwait. So even though we're a South Australian, trying to talk about Q Sports here, Alec, lots of people around the country and other places of the world are tuning in, which made me feel really good that we're doing it.
It's a bit warm and fuzzy inside, Phil.
Oh, well, don't get that tournament feeling from winning tournaments no more, Alex. So just got to talk about it. But it's still, they acknowledged it and they're watching it. So, that's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's awesome. And we had another event on yesterday, actually.
Yeah, no, I watched some of that too. That was good.
We had both sides of the room going. We had the 8 ball and the 9 ball.
Yeah.
Our 9 ball was the 7.5 point players and down. So it's a 9 ball event, a double elimination. Race to 7 on the winner's side, race to 5 on the loser's side. We had 10 players playing in that. Normally there was only 8. Just opened up a little bit more, give a couple of more guys an opportunity to play in it. But in the end, the 4 players that received some money back, Jordan Mitchell came 4th, Nathan White ran 3rd, and runner-up was Cooper Dart, and the winner was Larry Cavallaro.
Well, Alex, I want to give a big thumbs up to Larry. I'm stoked for him winning an event. Don't know if it's his first tournament, but brilliant effort. I would not pick Larry as the winner of that event, and well done, Larry. You've been playing Q Sports for a long time. Stuck with it, hanging out with the Casiola brothers, and it's a huge win.
He received $1,300 for his day's work. Don't forget, he was part of the Mighty Ducks team that won in Vegas, Phil.
So maybe, fact, I forgot about that little fact.
Mr. Experience. He's been
around the world.
Yeah, for sure. So congratulations to Larry. I mean, it's a big effort, really. Doesn't matter who you're playing. Just he'd been there for what, good 10, 11 hours, and end up being the winner was awesome. So
I know during the week here, Nathan and Chris Asterio spoke to me about the event, trying to get some tips on 9 ball going into the event, and what I felt from it on the weekend, Alec, that you've put on this brilliant concept where these players, all different abilities, are playing these tournaments, and they get their 5 minutes in the spotlight, and they're going head to head with people of their own ability and giving them an opportunity to win an event. And I thought it was brilliant when I was watching it. And I know from talking to Nathan White and Chris what it meant to them leading up to the event this weekend, and they were so excited and looking forward to it. So doesn't matter what standard you are, we all want to play a game, we all want to compete, and everyone wants to win. And the fact that you've got the ability to put them in their groups, I think it's a brilliant concept you've got going. And I thought it was really good.
What we like about it, we being the 30 pointers and the higher players, we look at the event and say, well, who's going to win? And you can't pick a winner. So it just makes it more interesting, because who's going to beat who, and you watch the game. Doesn't matter what level they're at. When they're to the same sort of standard, it's interesting, because you don't know. You want to see that 6-all race to 7
pressure.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's really good. I think the concept is great. And it was good watching it on the weekend.
So we're probably going to go back to the 30 pointers again, and go back down the list again. So it means probably 2 to 3 months before each section will be on again. So we've just got to look at the calendar, see what fits in. Good thing is that COVID doesn't affect us. We're not asking interstate players to come over. So it makes it quite easy being local. So that's a good thing.
Awesome.
Just going forward, just mentioning the COVID thing, we had an event coming up on the 10th of July, and that was the Victoria Challenge, which was the 3 guys from Victoria playing against our 3 SA players. Mark Robinson was playing Mikey, Gus and myself, and Michael Skerry and Nathan Neems. We were meant to have a match. We've postponed that match due to what's going on around us. I mean, with 2 weeks' notice, we weren't sure what was happening with Victoria. And yes, they can come into the state, but have all the boys been practicing because they weren't knowing? We just found it easier just to say we'll just hold off on it. So I'm not sure when that's going to go ahead.
Yeah, well, they had the Australian, as you know, 8-ball and Snooker junior titles happening in Albury this week, and that got cancelled, Alec. And one of our players, Ben Zalco, he drove all the way to Albury, only for it to be the borders to be closed the day he got there. And he's just left today. He's been stuck there for 5 days. Him and his mum Helen waiting for a clearance to get back here. Now they've got the journey back, so it's a bit hard. It's a bit tough, and I know the effort that Ben had put in for this tournament only to get there and it'd be cancelled. So we've got the Australian ladies snooker here in 3 weeks' time. So I think that could be on the cards to be cancelled, especially as no one can get in here, Alec.
That's right.
So, it's them tough times again.
Well, you look at Sydney, you're going to get a few players from Sydney coming from over for that.
That's right,
They're in lockdown. They haven't got a table at home. They can't go and practice.
Queensland can't fly in here.
No.
Jessica Woods. So I'd very doubt if it's going to move forward, which is it's a nightmare, but it's the way of the world. So we've got to just do the best we can.
You've got to go get vaccinated, Phil.
Yeah, he said I haven't.
Oh, I'm not saying you haven't, but that's what you guys got to do. You've got to get vaccinated, and I'm halfway there, so I've just got to get one more and finish it off. But I suppose when we get past that and everyone feels a bit safer, then it might be all right. So so there you go.
Well, because I do have some more results. One of them is involving you. So I've got the Southwest Metro.
Oh yes.
So maybe you could tell us a little bit about that league, when it's run. It's Tuesday, Wednesday nights, isn't it?
It's Tuesday, Wednesday nights. They've got Division 1, Division 2 on Division 1 and 2 on Wednesday nights, Division 1 on Tuesday nights. It's run in the southern area. It's been going, the association's been going for about 4 or 5 years now. It's predominantly chalkers, have a few teams in there with a southern 8-ball club, a Cove Tavern, Blackwood, Flagstaff Hotel, Blackwood Hotel, Blackwood Club, Morford Arms. So it's just that local area there, which makes it easy for travelling and things like that. And they've got a reasonable standard. They've got a few Super League players playing in each team, which is good. So what do you got there, Phil?
I do have some results. So from Tuesday night, you had the qualifying final, which was Chalkers Cheetahs versus Chalkers Who Are You? And apparently you play on one of these sides, so that's a pretty strong side with you in there, Alec. So there's you, Michael Morford, Chris Hazel, Renee, Mal Hay, Kyle Smith, Mark Melby. Pretty solid side.
Helbig, massive.
And you beat the other Chalker side 8-6. So you're into the grand final. That's right. And then the elimination final was the Southern Sharks defeated the Southern Steelers 8-6. So this Tuesday night you've got the Chalkers versus Southern Sharks. That's right. Tuesday
night at 7:30 start at Chalkers.
And in the Wednesday night, they must have a slightly bigger league on the Wednesday night, because there seems to be a lot of teams that played. So they had a qualifying final, which was the Flagstaff Hotel defeated Cove 8-2. And in the other qualifier had the Southern Gold defeated the Southern Slammers 8-5. And in the elimination matches, you had Morford Champions defeating Mitcham RSL 8-6, and the Morford Strikers defeating Blackwood Gunners 8-1. So the finals this week are the Southern Slammers versus the Southern Strikers, and Cove versus the Morford Champions. So they've been asking me a couple of times, can we get a mention in there? So obviously quite a few teams down that we're playing. You've got a lot of venues.
So we'll have to follow up with the results for next week.
No worries.
And the week after, Phil. And see how we go.
Awesome.
Sounds great.
Well, we want to know if your team in the final.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so.
Another victory.
Well, I need another medallion.
The more the merrier. But Iceman, I've got some billiards news I just want to talk about. So I spoke about Anna Litch and her partner Rob Hall over in the UK, so I thought I'd talk about a little bit of billiards this week. We've got our billiard league here. It's more enthusiasts that look the sport, Iceman. It's not like snooker or 9-ball, 8-ball. We've got massive leagues. We've got a very small community, but people look the sport. And as you know, all cue sports have got their own special little elements to it, and billiards is just the same as all them. But on a Tuesday night, I just wanted to give you the positions of the teams. So on top, we're a third of the way through the season. We've got the Barristers, the Baroosters, and the Baroosters is Barry Jenner and Peter Hughes.
Does he make a good coffee, Phil?
Well, Peter Hughes does. He's the barista and one's the barrister, so it's a pretty good name. But the reason I mention them is Barry Jenner's birthday. For everyone that knows Barry, he's a fantastic guy, president of the South Australian Snooker Association. So happy birthday, Barry.
Yeah.
And yeah, him and Peter on top. In second place, we've got the usuals, which is Tab Babiak and Chris Wignall. Two state champions in them two teams, followed by the usuals, which is Dennis Wignall and Sue Mon. Sue a state snooker champion, Dennis a Masters Billiards champion. So full of champions there, Iceman.
Yeah.
In fourth spot, we've got the Loose Cannons, which is Peter Woods. No, couldn't remember. Peter Woods and Warren Reynolds. And in fifth place, we've got the Grasshoppers, which are the current champions, Arthur Coronas and Nes Fernandez. And they, after 5 or 6 rounds, they haven't won a game.
Oh, shit.
They've drawn a lot, but they haven't won one.
Yeah.
And at the bottom, holding them all up, we've got Frank Dewins and Gary Oxenham. Frank, as you know, former state champion, and Gary Oxenham made the semi-finals of the state billiards this year. So really great bunch of guys, love playing billiards. They finish, go downstairs, have a beer, pure enthusiasts. But anyone that's interested in billiards, come and join the league. It's a fun night on a Monday night.
Yeah.
So that's our billiards round for the week, Iceman.
Awesome, that sounds great.
Yep. So you all done?
I'm done, mate.
No more news?
I've got to go to work.
Well, talk too much again. Anyway, Alec,
good
to see you.
Good
Well
work.
done to all the people that won on the weekend, and we'll have some more information for you next week.
Awesome.
All right,
Thanks,
see you,
mate.
buddy.
Bye.